My boyfriend sniffed my period blood in front of the whole class just to prove he was a vampire. My boyfriend and I started dating in 9th grade. At the time, he was the golden retriever boyfriend everyone wanted. He was funny, sweet, got decent grades, and somehow managed to be friends with literally everyone in school. Teachers liked him, my parents liked him, even my mean friends liked him. For almost a year, we were a completely normal couple. Everything changed when everyone in our school became obsessed with the Vampire Diaries. I'm talking obsessed. Every girl suddenly had an opinion about Damon and Stefan, Team Stelina or Team Delena and whatsoever. Half the boys started combing their hair out like Damon. People were posting edits during class. Instead of eating, entire lunch periods were spent arguing about what would happen if teachers were compelled by student vampires. It was a crazy time to be alive. Most people watched the show and moved on with their lives. My boyfriend, however, refused to let go. He'd randomly text me things like, "Meg, would you still love me if I were a vampire?" Or, "I'd definitely turn you into a vampire so our love would last forever." I rolled my eyes and ignored it. Then one morning he showed up at school wearing sunglasses indoors. I asked why. He looked around dramatically before leaning closer. My eyes are sensitive now. He wasn't joking. I've been turned. Naturally, I assumed he'd been bitten by a mosquito and was overreacting. So I asked, "Turned into what?" He replied, "A vampire." I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my phone. According to my dumbass boyfriend, Damon Salvatore appeared in his dream, bitten him, and completed his transformation while he slept. Yes, my boyfriend believed that a fictional character from a television show had somehow crossed dimensions specifically to turn a random 16-year-old into a vampire. Derek spent the entire morning telling people he'd turned to a vampire. Nobody believed him. He claimed he could hear things from incredible distances. When someone dropped a pencil across the room, he pointed dramatically and said, "See my hearing." The pencil had landed 3 feet away. At lunch that day, he refused to eat. When his friend offered him fries, he sighed and said, "I don't really crave human food anymore." Soon the entire school knew my boyfriend was a vampire. People started asking him vampire-related questions just to watch him answer and make fun of him. And the funniest part was that he genuinely thought people were impressed. He thought they were taking him seriously, but they were not. They were treating him like free entertainment. Then one Monday morning, Derek announced he was finally going to prove he was a vampire. It was 3rd period English, 40 students and one exhausted teacher. Halfway through class, Derek suddenly stood up. Miss Helen paused her lesson. "Derek?" He slowly removed his sunglasses. I can no longer hide the truth. The entire class immediately started paying attention, mostly because they were ready for the clown of the class, aka my boyfriend. "What truth?" Miss Helen asked. Derek took a deep breath. "I am a vampire." The room exploded with laughter. He waited patiently for everyone to finish. Then he reached into his backpack and pulled out a silver hand mirror. He held it up dramatically. "Vampires don't have reflections." Someone immediately yelled, "That's not even true in Vampire Diaries." The class started laughing again. Derek ignored them. I genuinely thought he'd give up. Instead, he doubled down. "Fine." He stuffed the mirror away. That wasn't the real test anyway. Derek then went ahead to pull the most weirdest move ever. He spun around, then sniffed the air. He started pointing out the girls in the class. Stacy, Brittany, Gracie, Taylor, and Megan are on their periods. All of you prove me wrong right now. I felt my soul leave my body. I'm Megan. Why did my dumbass boyfriend mention my name? And why did he know I was on my period when I didn't tell him? Derek walked towards me with an evil grin on his face. He bent down my seat, opened the back of my pants, and started sniffing. "This is blood, Megan. You're on your period, aren't you?" I was so embarrassed and confused. I wish the ground would just open and swallow me right there, but it didn't. Sophia, the class bully, started wheezing. Mrs. Helen turned away because she was trying not to laugh. Then she walked out the class without saying a word. Derek walked over to Gracie, and she immediately landed a hot slap across his face. Absolute silence. I'm sure Derek must have seen stars. He slowly lifted his head. His fake plastic fangs, which I hadn't even noticed until then, fell out of his mouth and skidded across the floor. The class completely lost it. People were gasping for air. That became his reputation for the rest of high school. Immediately I reached home that day, I blocked Derek and switched my classes because I couldn't be caught with a wannabe vampire and weirdo. I wonder what happened to my sweet golden retriever boyfriend.